Good morning. Thank you all so much for being here. My husband Steve and I raised our 4 children here in downtown Newport Richey, and our oldest and only daughter is Heidi. When Heidi was a young lady, she lost a very dear boyfriend to alcoholism and liver failure, and he died at the age of only 27. She went on quickly to get into a relationship with a young man that became toxic and very codependent, and she had 4 children with him. In the summer of 2019, 3 of her children in the state of Tennessee, where they lived at the time, went into foster care. On top of that, when Heidi had her 4th child, she exposed him to cocaine through her breast milk, and the baby was also removed from her care. Then she went on to make more poor choices and ended up in jail. Her boyfriend, who also who controlled their money all the time, he also was a guilty party. He decided to turn himself into jail, knowing he was going to get his the income tax return money, and bailed himself out, but much to our surprise, also bailed out Heidi. You see, they had come to realize that they were very unhealthy for each other, and they had decided for a while to part ways. But upon getting out of jail, they decided to party for a few days. On March 1st, Heidi accidentally overdosed on the cocaine and the fentanyl that her boyfriend had bought and given to her. She went over 10 minutes without oxygen. She was flown to a Nashville hospital, and where they did everything they could to try to save her life. But on March 3rd, 2020, she was declared legally brain dead because there was no more blood flow to her brain, leaving behind 4 young children, ages 6 and under. She too was 27 years old of age when she died. They both knew the benefit of Narcan, but they didn't have any of it on them. We also know that her boyfriend was fully aware that he had bought fentanyl and cocaine, but it seems Heidi was unaware and only thought it was cocaine. This is a very common and sad occurrence in fatal overdose victims, that they are unaware, do not know that fentanyl is in the mix of what they're taking. Our nightmare does not just stop with Heidi's death, nor with the fact that our world was being turned upside down by COVID and the lockdown. It continues with her 2 girls and her 2 boys, whom we tried everything we could to get custody of, but were unable to, much to our dismay. They ended up being adopted out by the last family that fostered them. And while much good has come out of this story, we still have no guarantees of being in our grandchildren's lives. It is so important for us to realize that our split-second decisions affect everyone around us more than we can imagine, especially the decision of taking drugs. When such possibilities of opioids been in that mix, such as fentanyl, it's caused hundreds of thousands over the last several years to die, such as our daughter Heidi. And her story alone, 4 children, 4 beautiful children, their lives were changed never to be the same. They'll never see their mom again. This is a picture of us with our grandchildren, one of the last times we saw them before they were adopted out. One of the only pictures I have of all 4 of them together. Thank you for letting me share my story.